everyone, I am legal intern at Law Minds. Today I will explain what to do if your husband or wife is having an extramarital affair. Today we are talking about a very sensitive and challenging issue, what to do if your husband or wife is having an extramarital affair. Marriage is built on commitment, and in many religions, it's considered a sacred bond. When that bond is broken by an affair, it can be incredibly painful and difficult to navigate. Now, first and foremost, if you find yourself in this situation, it's crucial to gather and prepare evidence carefully. Now, the question is why this is important, because the burden of proof lies with you. You need to have solid proof of the affair. Without it, things get even more complicated. Now, for example, your spouse might counterclaim, accusing you of cruelty or worse. They might file false charges of dowry or domestic violence against you. And that's not all. The person your spouse is illicitly involved with could also file a defamation case against you. So, what are the legal steps you can take? Understanding your legal options is essential for making informed decisions during such a difficult time. So, in this video, we will walk you through the legal remedies available, helping you understand what you can do to protect yourselves and move forward. Now, let's understand one of the most important steps you need to take is collecting evidence. Now, the question is, why is this important? It is important while when you take legal action, the court will require you to prove your claims. This means you need to have solid evidence to support your case. Without it, your spouse could counter your claims or you could face legal troubles yourselves. Now, what kind of evidence should you collect? This includes things like photos, videos, or eyewitness accounts that clearly show the affair. And look for messages, emails, or social media interactions that prove the infidelity. This can be pattern of suspicious behavior, unexplained absences, or unusual spending. Now, how do you collect this evidence? Make sure you gather evidence without breaking any laws. This means avoiding things like hacking into accounts or invading privacy. Stick to legal methods. You can hire a private investigator if needed, but make sure they follow legal procedures. When gathering evidence about an extramarital affair, it's essential to do it correctly to avoid legal complications. Here's an easy to understand guide to help you navigate this process. Incorrect evidence collection. Collecting evidence improperly can lead to legal problems. Your spouse might claim you violated their privacy or harassed them. Always ensure your methods are legal and respectful of boundaries. Second, making false accusations. Avoid making unfounded accusations. If you wrongly accuse someone, they could file a defamation lawsuit against you, which means accusing you of harming their reputation with false statements. Documentation. First, always detailed record keeping. Keep through records of all the evidence you collect. Document date and specific details, as this information can be crucial for your case. Good record keeping strengthen your credibility. Second, seek legal counsel. Before using any evidence, always consult a lawyer before presenting any evidence. A lawyer can help you understand the legal ramifications, ensure your evidence is pertinent, and verify it was obtained lawfully. Properly gathering evidence is critical for any legal action involving an extramarital affair. Doing it the right way protects your interest and ensures your case is strong. Remember, having well collected evidence can significantly impact achieving a fair resolution. Now understand the legal aspects of extramarital affair in India is important if you ever face such a situations. Now let's break it down in simple and detailed terms so you can understand what the law says and what steps you can take. Adultery law in India. Now imagine you find out your spouse is having an affair. You might wonder what the law allows you to do. Until recently, Section 497 of the Indian Penal Code treated adultery as a criminal offence. Here's how it worked. Then who could be prosecuted? So under this law, only the man who had an affair with a married woman could be prosecuted. The woman herself wouldn't face any criminal charges even though she was part of the affair. What was the penalty imposed upon that man? If a man was found guilty of having sexual relationship with a married woman without her husband's consent, he could be punished with up to 5 years imprisonment, a fine, or both. So this is the adultery aspect. Now understand the Supreme Court's progressive view. The Supreme Court of India has changed how we should deal with adultery. Moving away from criminalizing it, here's what they suggest. First, focus on matrimonial laws. The Supreme Court believes that issues like adultery should be handled through matrimonial laws, which means focusing on civil remedies like divorce or separation rather than criminal prosecution. This approach is more about resolving the matter within the framework of marriage laws. Second, they suggest encouraging reconciliation or civil solutions. The court suggests that taking a spouse to criminal court for adultery can worsen the situation. Instead, they encourage couples to try to reconcile and work on their relationship. If that's not possible, they should consider divorce or judicial separation through civil courts. Third, protecting dignity and reducing trauma. By avoiding criminal charges, the Supreme Court aims to protect the dignity of both spouses. This approach also helps minimizes the emotional trauma for any children involved as criminal cases can be very harsh and distressing for the whole family. So, understanding the law helps you navigate difficult situations like dealing with an extramarital affair. By knowing your rights and options, you can make decisions that are best for you and your family, keeping both your emotional well-being and legal rights in mind. Now understand what are the personal laws and remedies for extramarital affair. Facing an extramarital affair can be overwhelming, but understanding the personal laws that apply to your marriage can help you navigate your options. Here's a detailed look at how different personal laws in India address divorce and judicial separations due to adultery. First, there is an Hindu and Special Marriage Act. Under this, there is an option of divorce. Under section 13 clause 1 subclause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act, a spouse can seek a divorce if the other spouse has engaged in adultery. And similarly, under section 27 clause 1 clause subclause A of the Special Marriage Act, adultery is a valid ground for divorce. These laws recognizes the breach of marital fidelity and provide a legal pathway to dissolve the marriage. Another, there is the option of judicial separation. If you are not ready to end your marriage but need some time apart, judicial separation is an option. Under both Hindu Marriage Act and the Special Marriage Act, you can live separately from your spouse without formally ending the marriage. This period can help you make a more informed decision about your future. Now next law is Muslim personal law. So for husband, a Muslim husband can divorce his wife by following the prescribed procedures for talaq. The Supreme Court of India declared the practice of instant triple talaq unconstitutional in 2017. Now a Muslim husband must follow a more structured process which include attempt at reconciliation and arbitrations before the divorce is finalized. And in Muslim though there are more options available for husband to like talaq-e-ahsan, talaq-e-hasan, like this. For wife, a Muslim wife can seek divorce if her husband has delegated the power of talaq to her. If not, she can file for divorce under the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act, which allows for divorce on grounds such as cruelty, desertion, failure to maintain, and other significant issues. So these are the options available under Muslim law. Now next is Christian law. So under this section 10 clause 1 subclause 1 of the Indian Divorce Act, a Christian spouse can file for divorce if the other spouse has committed adultery. This law provides a clear ground for ending the marriage due to infidelity. Now the another option is judicial separation. So section 22 of the Divorce Act allow for judicial separation on the ground of adultery. This option lets spouses live apart without terminating the marriage, offering time to contemplate their future together. Fourth is Parsi law. So under Parsi Marriage and Divorce Act, Section 32 Clause D permits divorce if a spouse has committed adultery. This law acknowledges the seriousness of marital infidelity and offers a legal route to end the marriage. Another, under Section 34 Clause D, judicial separation is mentioned under the same act, allow for judicial separations due to adultery. Couples can live apart while they decide whether to reconcile or proceed with a divorce. Now, fifth is Jewish law. So, in Jewish law provides for divorce in cases of adultery for both men and women. The ground for divorce are equal, reflecting a balanced approach to marital fidelity. The process typically involves a religious divorce document that must be mutually agreed upon. In this, there is an customary practices. Now, by familiarizing yourself with these legal provisions, you can better understand your rights and options, whether you choose to seek a divorce or opt for judicial separations. Knowing the applicable personal laws can guide you through this difficult period and help you make decisions that are best for your future. Now understand additional legal considerations. So dealing with the consequences of an extramarital affair involves several legal aspects under the Criminal Procedure Code. Here are some key points to help you understand the implications. Maintenance and adultery. So according to the CRPC, if a wife is proven to be living in adultery, she loses her right to receive financial support like maintenance from her husband. This means that even if the court had already granted her maintenance, these decisions can be reversed if there is proof of her living in adultery. And Section 125 Clause 4 of CRPC specifically mentions that a wife is not entitled to maintenance if she is in adultery. This is crucial information for both husbands and wives when dealing with financial support issues in marital conflicts. Second is legal consequences of adultery. If someone enters a home during the daytime with the intention of committing adultery and actually engages in adultery inside the home, they can be charged under Section 454 and 497 of the Indian Penal Code. This law aims to punish those who disturb the sanctity of a home and a marriage, enticing to commit adultery. So if a person persuades a wife to leave her husband with the intention of committing adultery and then commits adultery with her, they can be charged under Section 498 and 497 of the IPC. This law protects the marital relationship from external interference. Third point is risk of false accusations. So, accusing someone of adultery without proper evidence can lead to a defamation lawsuit. So, defamation means damaging someone's reputation by making false statements about them. Making baseless adultery accusations can have serious legal consequences for the accuser. Legal problems. It is very important to have strong evidence before accusing anyone of adultery. False accusations not only create legal issues but also add more stress and financial burden to an already difficult situation. So understanding these legal points helps you navigate the complex aftermath of an extramarital affair. It is always best to seek legal advice to ensure your actions are lawful and to protect your rights effectively. Conclude our today's topic on dealing with an extramarital affair. It's crucial to stay informed and empowered, gather evidence, secure any proof of the affair for potential legal proceedings. Always seek legal advice, consult a lawyer to understand your options and rights, consider counseling, prioritize well-being and make informed choices. Thank you.